Okay, so here we are on the G2 Max. A lot of people asked me to review this scooter. So in this video today, we're going to have a close look at it. I'm going to figure out why it's such a popular scooter. And according to Kukirin, it's their it's the top selling scooter. Of course, this does come with a seat. If you wanted, you could mount the seat. Today, we're going to do a top speed test and see what we get. You have thumb acceleration, which is my favorite. Mechanical disc brakes, 1000 watt rear motor on this. Range up to 80 kilometers, depending on your weight, speed, temperature. So many people always ask, well, what's the range? Well, everybody's riding style is completely different, so that's very hard to answer. In my case, going full speed, realistically, you probably get like maybe 30-40 kilometer range. It does have the hybrid tires, which are my absolute favorite. There's a hill just in front of me, so we'll see what it's like. We'll do a zero start, and for now we'll just do it on gear 2. This hill right here is around 15 degrees. So let's just say zero start, gear 2. 1000 watt motor should pull us up no problem, and yes it is. Assembling the G2 Max will take you a matter of 5 minutes. The only thing you need to do is line your handlebars up and put the 4 screws in. Check everything is nice and tight, charge the scooter fully, check your tyre pressure, and then you are good to go. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about the G2 Max. Now this scooter it's pretty lightweight, so you won't have a problem at all lifting it, up a few flights of stairs. That's probably one of the good things about this model. And of course, like I mentioned, really good folding mechanism. You just loosen this, then you just pop out your pin on the side. That collapses. Hook it onto the back. That seems sturdy enough. And then you just lift the electric scooter. It only takes you a matter of seconds as well, just to put everything back. So it's really good if you're like taking this on public transportation, and then you need to hop on, hop off regularly. So it's quite portable from that standpoint. The seat will take you just about 2 minutes to put on. It's only secured by 4 screws. It is height adjustable. It also has suspension there, which is very good to see. Overall, if you're looking for a kind of long rides, the seat is definitely a good option. It's a nice wide base and is very comfortable indeed. It's much better than the previous M4 Pro seat design, so I have no complaints there at all. This is basically like the scooter that came after the G2 Pro. Then they had the G2 Max. And then of course they have the bigger M5 Pro that I will try and get my hands on to review. But this is basically the most popular one out of up to the point of the G2 Max. So you have M4, M4 Pro, G2 Pro, G2 Max, and then the M5 Pro. So it's kind of hard to keep up with a lot of things. So we're on gear 3. Let's see what it's like. Gear 3 has okay torque. Of course, you don't have a wheel spin because you don't have the battery capacity or a front motor on this. But it's actually quite decent. I like when something doesn't give you too much crazy power off the line unless you're racing. But stability is quite good. Top speed we're getting is 47 kilometers an hour. Yeah, so 47 kilometers an hour with my weight, which is 84 kilograms. So again, another hill here on my left. I just do want to point out something. A lot of people say that the hills don't look big, but on camera it's extremely difficult. Like this hill in front of me is actually quite steep, but on camera, because of the lenses, you just can't get that kind of picture within a video. But trust me, this is actually quite a steep hill. So, I am testing them on hills. So, by the way, any questions you have, comment below and I'll reply. So let's do a zero start on this type of hill. Okay, not too bad. Speed 22, 23, 24, 25. Yeah, does an okay job. I'll test the brakes now in a minute. I'll go down the opposite side of this hill and we'll actually do it on gear 1 to see if this can actually get us up on gear 1 I'm not sure, but we'll just try for a bit of fun. Okay, we can do a brake test. I'm going around 30 now. Oh, yeah, brakes are okay. You could upgrade it to full hydraulic brakes if you wanted, but on a scooter like this, really no point. Gear 1, same hill. It's actually going up the hill actually okay. That's actually not too bad for a scooter like this. Okay, so it's not gear 1. Okay, it kind of struggles. Let's pop it onto gear 2. Here we go, much better. Yeah, gear 2 is much better. So yeah, happy days. Yeah, so hill climbing ability, brakes, all okay. Tires, not too bad. The handlebar size as well is actually suitable for this kind of scooter. The stem is height adjustable. Folder mechanism is actually quite sturdy on this electric scooter as well, which is what you want to see. Charging port is in actually a really good position, so it's less likely to get damaged. Of course, as well, from a safety aspect, it has lights, it has indicators. The light on this I actually really like. They're 4 LEDs, and it's one of my favourite lights out of a lot of electric scooters that I've actually reviewed. And it has a rear LED light as well. It's really good from that kind of safety standpoint. It is IP54 rated, so it's okay in light rain, but to be honest, in any situation, always be careful. Another good thing I like about this is that the deck is actually quite generous. So I do have relatively large feet, and you're quite comfortable on this, to be honest. But the most important thing is to remember, you can actually just mount the seat here, and if you're going long journeys, you'll have that comfort aspect. So no complaints there from the deck size itself. Another good thing as well is that the mudguards are actually quite decent. So if it is kind of light rain, you shouldn't really get your back wet, which is nice to see. The kickstand as well is actually quite sturdy. Now I did review the ever popular Kukirin G4 a while ago. This is not a comparison video against the Kukirin G4. I may do that in the future. This is primarily a review video just for the G2 Max. So there's actually even a more of a steeper hill up here. I like the tires, they're my favourite tires, hybrid tires. I'm not crazy about street tires, but hybrid tires like what's on this are by far the best. They're like, yeah, again, another hill, bit more steeper, no issues whatsoever. Battery size on this is actually quite decent, 48 volt, 20 amp hour battery. Of course, many questions about range. You need to keep in mind that people are heavier than others, temperatures are different, hills are different, start stopping is different, riding style is different. It's extremely difficult to give an accurate, I guess, representation of basically the range. But I think this is probably a good commuter scooter. You know, it does the job. Now, let's just talk about briefly the G2 Master. The G2 Master, I did have that scooter, but it's I will be getting a replacement soon. So just keep an eye out on that. I'm working with Kukirin at the moment to make it a bit better. So as far as I know, there will be actually an updated version of the G2 Master coming very soon. So when I do get that scooter, of course I will do a full review on it. But as it stands, here, this is my order with Kuko scooters. Best standing scooter from Kukirin is the G4. Best standing scooter, but keep in mind it's bigger, it's heavier than this G2 Max. So you really do need to keep that in mind. Best seated scooter, as it stands right now, would be this one. I think it does quite a good job. I did recommend the M3 as a really good standing scooter, but that scooter unfortunately is getting discontinued very soon, and I really did love that scooter. But it's quite sad to see it go, but that's just the way things are. Coming up on top here, grips are actually quite wide, so nice and comfortable on your hands. You have the on-off switch for your lights, indicators, horn, off button, on button. It's quite bright out today, but you can see the display is actually doing quite a good job. And then to simply switch your gears, you just press the on button, and then it goes through gear 1, 2 and 3. You have your voltage here, your light indicator. Of course you have your speed and it's pretty basic, but it's very easy to understand. Of course, you have the thumb throttle, which is my favorite. Of course, you do get as well 2 keys with this, and check this out. Something that a lot of electric scooters don't have is the adjustable stem, and this is much improved compared to the M4 model because you have these notches here to adjust to your own height. And then in addition, you also have the safety clamp here as well. There's the LED light. It has 4 LEDs like what I mentioned, which is very good. Mechanical disc brakes. Suspension is actually, it's not too bad on this. I mean, you could take it off road, but I find it a little bit too firm, but in general it actually does quite a good job. You also have the lights on the deck at the back here, which are also your indicators, which is really nice. You have a really good back footrest actually on this as well. Of course, you do have that 1000-watt rear motor. My favorite hybrid tires. And yes, the charging port, I really like the position of the charging port. At least I don't like charging ports that are actually on the sides of a lot of electric scooters because they can get damaged quite easy. So I like that position. And when it comes to the value of the G2 Max, so it's around the €700 price point. And for that, of course, you get decent power on the rear 1000-watt motor, good tires, decent stability. You have a seat option there if you want. You have the suspension, really good folding mechanism, really good lights. Charging port, like what I mentioned, is in a very good position. 2 keys from a security aspect, so you kind of have that peace of mind there. Mechanical disc brakes actually do a good job. Good lighting on the scooter, adjustable height. So it kind of has everything you need. So I would not suggest buying the older models. I would definitely suggest buying the G2 Max. In particular, if you're looking for a seated option, if you're going longer journeys. I think as well, the person that this is for would be, keep in mind the speeds of this. It is a bit on the higher end, I guess you could say, compared to the standard Show Me electric scooters that are limited to 20-25 km/h speeds. So I think it kind of comes from not a beginner standpoint, but more for somebody who's looking to advance into the more higher speed area of electric scooters. So to check out the latest prices on the G2 Max, click the link in the description. And in the meantime, if you want to check out that G4 video, it's linked on the screen right now. In the meantime, stay safe, and I'll talk to you in the next video.